Right. So, starting with the Healing Heart. So welcome back to the Healing Heart. Great that you're here, and wonderful that we can continue, because this is a healing circle, and that's really lovely. Now, the healing target today is fear and anxiety, and that's of course always kind of like popular, recognizable, because you have to deal with fear. Maybe you have experiences of anxiety. Maybe you have something that comes up that is really getting to you, and you don't know how to deal with it. Like as an fearful episode that you project into the future that you really think is going to change, like something is going to change your life, and now you're afraid of the consequences of that. So whenever there's change going on, fear is in fact inevitable as a human being, at least, because you're not sure if it's going to be helpful. Now, as teachers of God, in the Course in Miracles, like the teacher of God is in fact one who recognizes that change is always helpful. And you cannot recognize that immediately if you don't know. It's like if you can't see beyond the human perspective, then it just will bring you into fear, because it disturbs your balanced way of certainty, comfort, safety, and all this that you have been protecting so well in order for it to make it work and to survive as a human being. Now that is really something recognizable for all of us in your experience of yourself. So suddenly there's something that you didn't see coming, and it's disrupting your peace, and you have to deal with it. It seems like very important, and you have to deal with it. Now, what are you going to do? To mention one thing. Now, today I'm really, in fact, inviting you for some really deep work, inner work. We use chapter 27 of A Course in Miracles. It's really deep in the sense of it is so hard to hear what it says, because basically it is on the edge of what you want to hear, and that doesn't really stimulate your open ears. And you will recognize what I'm talking about during this hour. So it's like we're looking at something. We're looking at a dream and at reality. We're looking at the dream, but then a specific part of the dream. And I will open that up in a moment so you know what I'm talking about. But it's like you literally will face the part where resistance comes up. Like I'm literally pushing you right there. And that's necessary in order to see it differently and to actually know what's really at the root of fear, you could say. Like fear has a reason. There's a reason why you are afraid. There's a reason why you feel fear coming up when changes occur. There's an integrity threat when something happens to your body, like inevitable. Whether you scratch your toe on a nail, or whether this happens or that happens, like there's an immediate threat of your integrity, as if you fall apart, as if you need to protect yourself, as if something is going to happen that will, say, shorten your lifespan or something. It's like it's a deep existential threat that comes up. Now these things are stirring up the fear and anxiety. And so you see just what we said in the Miracles recap too, like there's no halfway of getting free of this fear. you have to discover what you're doing. You have to see what it actually is that you're thinking. Otherwise, you will not be able to release it. Then you're still a slave to time-related ideas. Now, or you step completely into reality, leaving all this behind. Like literally, for a moment, that would be what a miracle is. You have literally a shift into invisibility, away from the bodily level of experience, into an experience of totality, of connectedness, of communication. So these are the options. So it comes back and becomes more and more clear. And we need all that in what we're going to share in a moment. So I'm opening that up for us. So reality and dreams, that's the theme, like I shared. That's the theme that we're looking at. Now here is chapter 27. Now listen well. The gap between reality and dreams lies not between the dreaming of the world and what you dream in secret. They are one. The dreaming of the world is but a part of your own dream you gave away, and saw as if it were its start and ending both. Now this is a good one to take a look at, because this is really like the structure of your dream. So the gap between reality and dreams lies not between the dreaming of the world and what you dream in secret. Like that's the same stuff. What you think, what you dream in secret, in your own individuality, in your own individual dream of separation, of course, like what you dream in your dream, and what you think is going on in the world, that is the same stuff. That is literally the same dream. It is not coming from you. Like literally, it is what you gave the world. The dreaming of the world is but a part of your own dream you gave away, and gave power. You gave your power away to things outside yourself that can threaten you now, or that can attack you now, or that can who knows what. Now this is so fundamental in awakening technology, you could say. This is so mechanisms, awakening mechanism. This is so fundamental that it is worth to really look at this. So you might have thought that, and this is very common, in the recognition that I'm talking to myself, of course. So here we are. You might have thought that the dream that you're dreaming is separate from the world that you live in. Like that is almost inevitable to think that there's a world out there and there's your dream. Now we had a couple of other ingredients in this before too. So to make it total, to make it complete, this needs to be understood in a sense. It's like there's you, your idea of yourself, your definitions of yourself, your idea of yourself. There's the dream that you dream, and there's the world. Now, these are all included into the dream, you could say. That is the dream. You, with your ideas about yourself, are not separate from the dream. Your dream that you're dreaming privately is not separate from the dream that you dream in your place in the world. Like it's all the same dream. It's all the same dream. Like obviously it all doesn't have any reality, but it's one package that you believe to be true. Now you have made all these separate parts, thinking that you're separate from your dream, that some part of you is real and the dream is not real, or the dream is real too, or that is your reality. And then there's a world out there. There can be a bad world, and difficult world, and an angry world, a threatening world, who knows what. Whatever you make up about that. Now you can distance yourself in your private dream, a so-called private dream, because like I said, it doesn't really exist. You separate yourself in your private dream, thinking the world is bad, and thinking that you are waking up in this dream, but that the world is bad and doesn't understand anything about it. These are very common misunderstandings in spiritual development. So that's why I mention it. Now we come to the place where we actually recognize my ideas about myself, my private dream. This world that I'm seeing is all included in the dream that I believe to be true, as long as I value it. As long as I see it, I believe it has value, and I believe it is there. It is my reality. Now, that part is kind of clear. Now here's the consequences of it. And that's really interesting too. So the dreaming of the world is but a part of your own dream you gave away and saw as if it were its start and ending both. As if the dream ends with you leaving the world, for instance, or something. That would be the end of your dream. Yet it was started by your secret dream, which you do not perceive, although it caused the part you see and do not doubt is real. So yet it was started by your secret dream, the idea that you think about yourself, your private idea about yourself. Yet it was started, wait, let me do the last sentence. The dreaming of the world is but a part of your own dream you gave away, and saw as if it were its start and ending both. Yet it was started by your secret dream, which you do not perceive, although it caused the part you see and do not doubt is real. How could you doubt it while you lie asleep and dream in secret that its cause is real? A brother separated from yourself, an ancient enemy, a murderer who stalks you in the night and plots your death, yet plans that it be lingering and slow. Of this you dream. And underneath this dream is yet another, in which you become the murderer, the secret enemy, the scavenger, and the destroyer of the brother and the world you fear alike. Here is the cause of suffering, the space between your dreams and your reality. So this was the gap. Of this you dream, and underneath this dream is yet another, in which you become the murderer, the secret enemy, the scavenger, the destroyer of the brother and the world you fear alike. Here is the cause of suffering, the space between your dreams and your reality. The little gap you do not even see, the birthplace of illusions and of fear, the time of terror and of ancient hate, the instant of disaster, all are there. Here is the cause of unreality, and it is here that it will be undone. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has, nor ever will. You are the dreamer of the world of dreams. No other cause it has, nor ever will. See what I mean? See what I mean? And say it literally touches the place where you think like, well, I don't understand. I don't understand this. I cannot hear what it says. And this is what I said. It's like that's exactly what you can hear, and that's exactly what you hear. And that's the lovely part of this. It's like the lovely part of this is the totality of the acceptance of responsibility. Basically, that's what it says. Like, you are responsible for this whole dream, for the world out there, for your ideas about your body, for your ideas about your brother, for how everyone is behaving against you, for all the guilt that you feel, for all the, like, all of it is included. Now this is in fact quite a start of coming to including everything in. It's like recognizing that you're the dreamer of the dream. Okay, that's one thing, but recognizing that the things that I'm afraid of that might happen are caused by myself is a real step further. And then recognizing that all of the solutions that I see or come up with, or interventions that I imagine, or stuff that seems to be appearing in my dream, all originates from deep within myself, in the sense of my fundamental misperception of myself literally gives birth to everything that I see and that I think is real. That's amazing. Now, somewhere in the Bible it says, physician, heal thyself. Now this is really for you. It's like, physician, heal yourself. And not only that, that goes a step further. It's not just the healing, for instance, physical healing. It's not only, give me some other examples. And you may come up with examples in a moment. So now here you can say, like, well, I just wanted to know how to get rid of fear. And this is exactly the point. Like, here it originates by you giving away a part of that responsibility to the world out there, to the one that you don't like, to, who knows, the president of who knows what, or the situation in the country, or the who knows what. Like, literally, this whole setup is yours. It has nothing to do with anything else. It originates in your secret dream that you are having about yourself. Every threat that seems to come to you, you place there yourself. Everything that seems to be threatening to your longevity or your existence literally is placed by you. You can say, like, the world I see is really what I made, and even though it doesn't have any reality, I do believe it's real and that it has an effect on me. That, like, there's no one that will deny that. Of course, in the training you start to deny it, but it is quite something to, in fact, encapsulate this as your total responsibility. And then what? Then how would you deal with that? And then what is the way out of that? Basically, you see that if this is all originating in you and it has an effect on everyone and everything, the only thing you can say is, like, wow, I need help. I need help. Like, the mess is even bigger than I expected. It is a total mess. It is a total mess of me giving away my energy, giving away every threat, every step of, who knows what. Like, I gave it all away outside of me. Now it's attacking me, or now I come to acceptance that it might be me altogether. And that does not have an exception. So it's you want this dream? Well, you have to take total responsibility for it. You don't want this dream? Well, you have to take full responsibility for it in order to get out of it. Recognizing, I'm the dreamer of the dream. This whole thing is a setup in which I have given reality. Everything that seems to threaten me is originating in me. Now I see that, like, if I want to be healed of this, if I want a whole different experience of myself, I have to recognize that this is so and hand it over with an idea of, like, I don't want any of it. I don't want any of it because I wouldn't know how to rule this kingdom. It has to be divinely inspired, otherwise I don't want it. Now that's a bit like the introduction to the point that I'm trying to make here. So if you talk about fear and anxiety, it's like that's just like the tip of the iceberg. These are just some parts that are coming up that you cannot deal with in that sense without realizing where it originates. That's why it's coming back. That's why it always seems to be going and now it's coming back. It's going and it's coming back. And that's perfectly all right. I'm not saying that you should fight it or that you have to awaken instantaneously to get out of it. No, you take your time. That this is what you do. This is what the undoing is. Recognize or accepting full responsibility for every aspect of the dream. Yeah, so we need a responsibility prayer, that's for sure. Like, nothing more fearful than an idle dream has terrified God's Son and made him think that he has lost his innocence, denied his Father, and made war upon himself. So fearful is the dream, so seeming real, he could not awaken to reality without the sweat of terror and the scream of mortal fear, unless a gentler dream preceded his awakening and allowed his calmer mind to welcome, not to fear, the voice that called with love to waken him. A gentler dream in which his suffering was healed, and where his brother was his friend. God willed he waken gently and with joy, and gave him means to waken without fear. Accept the dream he gave instead of yours. It is not difficult to shift a dream when once the dreamer has been recognized. Rest in the Holy Spirit and allow his gentle dreams to take the part of those you dreamed in terror and in fear of death. He brings forgiving dreams, in which the choice is not who is the murderer and who shall be the victim. In the dreams he brings, there is no murder and there is no death. The dream of guilt is fading from your sight, although your eyes are closed. A smile has come to lighten up your sleeping face. The sleep is peaceful now, for these are happy dreams. Dream softly of your sinless brother, who unites with you in holy innocence. And from this dream, the Lord of heaven will himself awaken his beloved Son. So this is very recognizable. Like, if I summarize it a little bit, it's like very recognizable. The idea of, if I realize that I'm completely responsible for this, like I'm shaken up, I'm like overwhelmed with all the consequences that seem to come at me, like having to include all that in that I've given away, all the power that I've given to the world to literally imprison me, or however you want to call it, like that was too huge, that was too much to deal with. So it's like in this awakening there has come like a happy dream, or a dream, a borderland where you enter into, like there's a calling, you have been called and you have entered. You discover like this cannot be so. This world cannot be real. If I see what is happening, this cannot be true. Now that literally gave you the key to a borderland where you reside. In your awakening you reside. You start to smile more often, you start to relax, you start to trust that there's a solution. Literally like you're in a borderland. You're not completely out of your dream, you're not completely awake, but at the same time you have experiences that take you out of making this real, or seeing that yes, there's an alternative to this, or here's a beautiful idea coming to you, here's something that shifts your consciousness, here's something that elevates you into a whole different experience of yourself momentarily. Like it is very well set up in order for you to awaken. And then the awakening itself is like your beloved God is literally doing that for you. He will say, he knows his way to you. Whenever that is possible, it will come to you in form of revelation, or in however it will come to you. So this in that sense, like that is a really beautiful recognition that you know it works like that. Nothing is asked of you that you're not able to do. So you can be rest assured of that, and really be like really rest in that. Like there's nothing that you already had to do at this point that you're not doing right now. You're exactly in the right place because of the perfect setup here for you, that is loving and caring, and not wanting to put you in a place where you would be overwhelmed to some kind of fear of the total impossibility of getting out of this. Like no, so you will face fear, don't get me wrong, you will face fear, but that will be exactly say doable for you in the process that you're in. And like otherwise it literally would not happen. So it says somewhere in the Course, like the Holy Spirit keeps gentle pace with you in this undoing, and nothing is going to be taken away that would put you deeply into fear. Now this is really good to know, and this is why you can trust the process. We say this too, it's like you can trust the process.